It's 1 for the Mane, 2 for the Mo. The Reds beat Stoke last night and we're all buzzing. It's the morning after. This is Talking Reds. I'm Gareth Roberts. This is Craig Hannan. We're made up we beat Stoke, aren't we? They're annoying, Stoke, aren't they? I mean, thing with Stoke is, right, I feel like we've developed this thing where we go dead hard to go to Stoke and get a result.
Yeah.
We've won 4 in a row at their ground now.
Yeah.
So can we stop saying that now?
I know that cliche of a wet, windy night on a wet, windy Wednesday night in Stoke is wild. Yeah, got there in the end. They're not the Stoke of old. They're not this big flat track bullying team, and they just looked soft last night. It just wasn't. And I think this whole like reputation that's been built around the team was built around Pulis's Stoke, wasn't it? This isn't. This just is a completely different team. But I thought the Reds were really good. Obviously they rode the luck at times, but they just showed quality, and the difference in class was there for all to see, really. Yeah,
there was a bit of everything. I thought. They did ride the luck a little bit, as you say. There was a couple of chances Stoke should maybe do better with. There's obviously Mignolet coming out and felling people at the edge of the box, which we'll talk about in a bit. But there was a bit of everything. There was a bit of fight. There was a lot of energy. There was a lot of effort, and ultimately there was the quality. And I think that's the key thing. And I think it's worth saying that on the Anfield Wrap, we did lose our shit a little bit about conceding that goal to Chelsea. Coming after the Sevilla game as well, we slaughtered Klopp a little bit about his substitutions. We wondered about Liverpool's character and whether they've got the right kind of character. But we're footy fans. We're allowed to be fickle, aren't we? We're all happy now.
Yeah. I'm made
Substitutions are brilliant. Klopp's a genius. We're flying.
It changes week by week, doesn't it? But yeah, I think this just gives everyone a lift. Everyone needed a lift, and we've said on a couple of the shows that those 2 draws become decent results as long as we win the next few, if you know what I mean. I think there was more pressure on Klopp last night because of his substitutions and on the team as well, because of the 2 previous draws. But I thought they excelled last night. I thought they were really, really good. Mo Salah, he might be amazing. One of the most exciting signings
that volley
that I can remember. That volley was we were right behind the goal and it looked brilliant. But I just watched on the highlights and it's even better on the highlights. What a player.
It's an absolute belter of a goal, and that's 17 now for the season, which is more than any Liverpool player has managed in a season, never mind like a month or whatever, since Suarez days. So I mean 17 in the season so far. Am I wrong to start getting a little bit worried? The reason I say this is every time we have a good player, we end up selling them. And I kind of think, you can see he's good, you can see how important he is, you can see the goals he's scoring. Let's get him in a room now and tie him down to a contract. I mean, you look at what they did with Klopp and they went, right, this is working, we like you, vice versa, it's all signed a 6-year contract, and now, we're all fairly happy that he's staying put. Let's do something like that with Salah. Let's bite it in the arse now before the speculation starts.
Yeah, I'm up for getting him tied down, but I think the most important thing is this club moves with his aspirations, and the problem has been that the likes of Luis Suarez has moved on to Barcelona. Coutinho's tried to move to Barcelona or whatever. If we go far in the European Cup and we can push on in the league now, then hopefully we can move with his aspirations, and these players don't look to leave, that they're happy at Liverpool. Now he's only here what, 5 months, so it's a little bit early to talk about him leaving. But yeah, the worry's always there whenever you have a player of his quality, because obviously there's going to be teams sniffing around, and I've already seen talk of Real Madrid on Twitter, which is worrying.
Modern football's mad, so let's sort it, boys. Let's give him a pay rise. He's doing all right. Mignolet then, the Mignolet madness. Some people saying on our Facebook page that I was being harsh and even mentioning this. Not quite sure how that works, to be honest, boys. I mean, he's made a series of mistakes. A lot of us aren't sure that he's good enough to be the goalkeeper for Liverpool. And here he is, potentially, he could have got sent off. He could have cost Liverpool another match. A lot of people say, well, what about Matip and the challenge he's putting in? But let's forget all that for a moment. What I'm interested in is, when everyone started talking about it, lots of people, including the pundits, including Match of the Day, have gone, he should go. It's a red card. He's the last man. It's a goal-scoring opportunity. But then I've seen other people saying, hang on, didn't they change the rule So I tried to look the rule up, being a bit of a nerd and that. And the rule is saying that if it's in the penalty area and the keeper comes out, takes someone down, if he's made a genuine attempt for the ball, he only gets a yellow and it's a pen. But does that apply outside the box? No one really seemed to know. And I wonder whether Stoke were at a place where referees and officials in general need to be talking to footy fans a bit better, because if there's, I'm no expert on it. I don't sit there reading rule books. I watch my team. But, you know, shouldn't the communication be better? Like, you know, last night, if the referee came out after the match and just had a little chat with the cameras and said, well, this is what I thought, then it just ends the debate. You know, whether he was right or wrong, you know, he can do all the camera angles, but he can just say, listen, in the heat of the moment, what I saw was X. And then all the fans can go, all right then. But because they say nothing, that void where he says nothing is filled by the newspapers, by us, by everyone.
I was about to say by us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, referees have a difficult job, and it can be frustrating for footy fans, especially, you know, like if I'm a Stoke fan, I'm fuming at that today. You know, if this is the Stoke Wrap,
good name.
Then you know that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that decision. The thing is, as a football fan, I don't know what the rule is. I don't know whether that should have been a red or a yellow. I genuinely don't know. But happy enough that it's yellow, and I think it would just be common sense for a referee to come out and explain his decision, explain the rules to us, and then everyone goes, sound. That's, you know, he's done what's right there. He's done what he's been told to do.
Don't see why they can't. I mean, you know, you look at other sports as well, and the referees are mic'd up, so even people in the ground know what's going on. But football seems to still not want to go down that road. Not sure why. Tell us what you think. You know, comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Okay, next up, we're going to have a look at the papers. Okay then, the papers, lots of love in the papers today for Manchester City. A decent enough headline, I would say, as a former sub-editor there. The sex machine, which is going on about Raheem Sterling scoring a last gasp winner, leading to crazy scenes of celebration at the Etihad. Just on Sterling, I mean, he's scoring a lot of late goals for Manchester City. Manchester City in general are scoring a lot of late goals, and I think it's going to be hard for anyone. Obviously Liverpool are 14 points behind them now. Sorry to put that downer on things, but they look pretty unstoppable right now, don't they? And Sterling as well, playing so well for them. It's quite hard to take, isn't it? I mean, he's got 13 goals for them now. He's only 22 years old. I mean, I did the thing that I think a lot of Liverpool fans did, where you were like, you know, oh, well, fuck him then, let him go if he wants to go and all that.
Ives better.
Ives better. I remember that. He
was doing that.
I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. Ives better though. But yeah, he looks absolutely brilliant, and his goal last night was an absolute storm, a top bin. And it's hard to take. I mean, we talked about in part one about Mo Salah and maybe sort of trying to tie him up and keep the vultures away. The vultures came for Sterling, they got him, and as I say, hard to watch, and City absolutely flying.
It's mad as well, because whenever he signed for City, there was lots of talk around the 50 million transfer fee, wasn't there? And like, I was absolutely gutted to see Raheem Sterling go, because at such a young age, I thought he was brilliant, and what he's doing now, he's gone up another level under Guardiola. And talking to a mate of mine who's a City season ticket holder, in his first season he just wasn't impressed with Sterling. Just like wasn't enthused by the signing at the beginning, wasn't excited about him, and after the first season was just a little bit doubtful about his ability. But like now, there's no doubt in that. It's mad what he's doing. He's City's top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer for the season, 13 goals. Not as many as Mo, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's doing quite well. He's looking very good. All the assets that you knew he had, he seems to still have them, and he's improved his game beyond that as well. And yeah, a little bit of a shame that he's not ours. I'd have him back tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I would love him back.
Okay, elsewhere in the same paper, in the Mirror today, Brian Reed's column. Always a good read, Brian. Recommend his books about Liverpool as well. But today, what I found interesting in his column is that he's talking about Spurs. Now, Liverpool have gone above Spurs in the table after last night's win. And it's interesting because, you know, a lot of people were getting very excited about Spurs and about the strikers and about Dele Alli and about Kane and about the manager and about the style of football and about how they hadn't paid that much money out and how the wage bill isn't that big and how well they've done and the new ground. And then all of a sudden, well, where are you now, boys? You know what I mean? And as Brian's saying here, he's saying the Leicester fans were singing to them, Tottenham Hotspur, it's happened again. Which is, you know, is what they do, isn't it? I mean, they play well for patches, they look impressive, and then they don't get over the line, they don't win things. And as Brian says here, you know, lots and lots of praise for them. But it's been 56 years since they won the title. 56 years. I mean, we think we're done to with 27
it's
or
around
whatever.
the same time as you were born, wasn't it?
You cheeky bastard. You cheeky young tyke. But you know, it's quite right, isn't it? And it just shows you how quickly things can change. All of a sudden now, Liverpool are up to 5th, Spurs are behind us, and Liverpool have just got to keep winning. It's really tight at the top. We're only 3 points off 3rd, and we just keep winning games, and we can get into a conversation where we're going, hang on, it's a good season, this.
Yeah, like, you know, Spurs have some great players, and I really like Pochettino. I'm a big fan of what he's doing, but I think we're better, and I'd far rather have Liverpool squad than Spurs. I would rather have Klopp than Pochettino. And if we can get in a little bit of a run going over the Christmas period, then we'll be flying. But yeah, the media built Spurs up, didn't they? And it was boring to listen to, wasn't it? And like I say, they've almost done it again. Hopefully we can stay above them now.
Tottenham have done a Tottenham. Okay. Elsewhere, Bild, which is a bullshit German newspaper, a tabloid out there, they're saying that Klopp is one of 4 candidates to succeed Ancelotti at Bayern Munich.
Fuck off.
Klopp, as I mentioned earlier, has got a 6-year contract with Liverpool Football Club, so that's going to be quite expensive to get him out of. He seems happy, he's into where he lives. Why is he leaving for Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich seems the type of club that he wouldn't go for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're like a man. You know, he knocked back Manchester United, didn't he? Because he didn't like the look of them. He thought they were a bit Disneyland or whatever it was he said. And Bayern Munich feels the same kind of thing, really. But I think what it does underline, and perhaps, you know, we need to be respectful of this a bit more, is that we've got a really good manager, haven't we? We've got a top manager. When we got him, he was regarded as one of the best managers in the world. Nothing's changed, he's still the same fella.
Look, every manager's going to make mistakes, no matter whether they're in the top 5 managers in the world, which I genuinely think Klopp is. And yeah, it's flattering that Bayern Munich are after him, but I'm reading Raphael Honigstein's book about Klopp at the moment, and they literally say in that Bayern Munich, the likes of Bayern Munich and Man United, aren't the kind of club. He's a football romantic, and he likes this idea of a team like ours with less resources than the Cities and the Man Uniteds, and getting the crowd getting behind them, and this whole romantic idea of sort of winning that way rather than with money and with resources and walking a league, which he would do, and the fact that if he did go to Bayern Munich, it might taint his reputation amongst Borussia Dortment fans. So it just doesn't add up.
I like the way, by the way, that like, you're absolutely made up that you're reading the book, aren't you?
Yeah,
like,
I don't read.
He's mentioned it on every single video this week. Hey, I'm reading a book, you know. Reading a book there, you know. Reading a book, you know.
I'm only about 60 pages into it.
Craig in read book, shocker. More on that as we have it. Okay, on the Anfield Wrap this week, a really good review from the Chelsea game if you haven't had a chance to listen. And if you don't subscribe and give it a listen. Lots of love for that one. Lots of people saying that we got stuff out of Sean Rodgers that they hadn't heard before in terms of how managers and coaches might think about a hectic schedule and that sort of thing. So give that a listen if you missed out on that one. There'll be another review recorded today based on what we saw at Stoke. There's also a great in-depth interview with Honigstein, which Craig's referencing there, about that book that Craig's reading, and about Klopp and Klopp's Liverpool. So, you know, lots of good feedback on that as well. Today, we're recording the Pro View with Steve Warnock. I'm going to ask him about Albi Moreno versus Andy Robertson. Robertson's only played 3 games for Liverpool. Albi's played 19 this season. Only 4 players have made more appearances for the Reds than him. And lots of Liverpool fans don't seem to understand why, and they're saying, why won't he get a go and that sort of thing. So I'm going to ask Steve Warnock, still a professional footballer, how hard is it to be the man with the shirt? How hard is it to be the man who hasn't got the shirt? And, you know, just discuss that dynamic. So really looking forward to that. In terms of this Talking Reds, the idea is that it will be 4 days a week. So there won't be one tomorrow, but tomorrow there will be a wrap-up. Now, all this video has been new this week. Would love to hear what you think of it. Would love to get your feedback on every aspect of it. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Why? What could we do better? All of that. But give our podcast a listen, stay with the Anfield Wrap, keep on watching our videos. That has been Talking Reds.